All right, we're watching Sean's butterfly here. We're going to watch it starting out just quarter speed, just to kind of see what his fly looks like, talk about some of the things Lynette and I see, and then we'll kind of go back through and re-go over it. The first thing we notice real quick is Sean, you do a good job of really getting your hands all the way around on your stroke. But we want to make sure that head stays in the water even when we're not breathing. You kind of see right here when you breathe, we see that chest come above the water. But then right here when you're not breathing, you can also see that your goggles are coming above the water. Oh, no, here you go ahead and take a breath. So we'll look at one when you don't breathe. But you can kind of see when you're not breathing that you actually bring your heads above the water. The turn here, we kind of see it's not as visible, but you can see that it's not really a streamline. Those hands are definitely separated. You are dolphin kicking off the wall, so that's good. First breath, though, we always want to make sure we try and go the last stroke into the wall, first stroke off the wall without a breath. Here, when you're not breathing, you kind of tell that those goggles are above the water. So just a couple things we can kind of touch on. Let me rewind it here, and we'll go over what it is Lynette and I are seeing. And while you're looking at this too, take an opportunity to look at some of the notes that Lynette has sent as well within the video, because they are going to hopefully help a little bit more. All right, so as we get here, Sean, with our first stroke, the thing that we can tell you real quick is, whether you can tell or not, you're really not breathing here. Okay, so your eyes are coming above the water. You can actually see your goggles up, your head's up, and then your hands are pointed down because your head is so high in that water. If you can get your head lower in the water, eyes looking straight down, but head lower in the water, your hands are going to then be able to drop out to the side and maybe even raise up just a little bit better than what we are right here. Okay, so it is important to make sure that we keep working on getting your head down. Right? Your hand entry right here is so good. It's right at shoulder width apart. We want to see that all the time from everybody. Okay, so really, really good job there. As we start to get that breath, you do a good job of breathing early, but then we keep coming up. And so right here, you kind of see there's the top of your chest and your shoulders, and then there's your chin. Ideally, what we want is this second bar right here, right at water depth. Okay, you want the shoulder, you want that chin right at water depth. You don't want to have your whole chest out of that water to breathe. And when you look at the underwater, we're probably going to see that our hips are a little low simply because of how high those shoulders are. But again, great job of your hand entry. We like that, and we like how your head's getting down pretty quickly there too. 1, 2 kicks. So you're doing 2 kicks at the top of your stroke. Make sure you want to have 1 kick right here and 1 kick here. So it should be really 1 kick right there, and then 1 kick there, but that second kick doesn't come until your hands come all the way around. So let's work on making sure we don't do the 2 kicks, because there was a 1 kick as your hand entered, and then watch right here. You do the second kick while your hands are up front. Okay, so let's do work on that. Let's make sure we're not breathing that last stroke in the wall. Now as we do that turn, you can see the lower part of your back is above the water. Here are your shoulders, and your eyes are looking over here. What we want to see is your shoulders at water depth and your eyes looking at that hand that's still on that wall. So you want your leg to drive straight in that wall. You don't want to turn sideways and not watch that hand. As you come off, you don't really ever look at that hand. But what you do a good job is bending that elbow, and you have it in the right position. But when you get to this point here, you're not streamlining. It's kind of hard to tell, I know, but when I can see that straight line, that line of blue in between, I know those hands aren't streamlined. So that's the one thing that Lynette and I are talking a lot about. We got to make sure we have better streamlines. Good kickouts there. That's pretty decent. You're coming up right at the flags. We'd like to see 6 dolphin kicks, not just the 3, but that's okay. We can work on that and build on that. And then remember, we don't want that first breath. Okay? But once you start swimming, I think if you can fix those few things, I think you're going to come a lot farther, a lot faster with that fly. So keep up the hard work, Sean.